This is Andrea Lensing reporting for the Springfield Report. Based on the community resistance to the proposed Walmart neighborhood market zoning project, our news team decided to speak to multiple individuals about their personal reasons for opposing the new Walmart.
This is Katie Brady reporting for the Springfield Report, and I spoke with Gary Bills, a concerned Springfield citizen who has a personal interest in conserving the church and the local economy. So kind of talking about how this is going to affect the atmosphere of local business. How do you feel like that is going to look on Springfield if they bring in these big box businesses and kind of drive away from supporting their local business?
And I think that question hits the nail on the head, because we do as a city want to be pro-business, but we definitely want to do the favors for the companies that are actually helping us. In other words, we don't want to enable more money to be sucked out of our local economy that goes to a company that it's questionable. It's not that they're singling Walmart out, it's that their reputation precedes themselves. I mean, most people shop at Walmart, most people understand that they're not the best place to work for, most people understand that the rollback effect doesn't apply just to prices, it applies to the way they treat their vendors, the way they treat their employees, basically the way they treat anybody that's not in the top 1%, that's last name isn't, I'm kind of getting off topic a little bit, but you understand what I'm saying. I'm not here to bash the company. I've earned money in their stock. I'm very familiar with the company that they have. The point of what I'm trying to say is that corner, tearing down a church that's called Calvary Temple and putting up that instead is a land use, from the standpoint of we don't inherit, we do inherit this land from previous generations, but really we borrow it from the next 7 generations. So those of you that are students now, and your kids and their kids, when you drive by that property 5, 10, 20 years from now, is there anything to really get excited about a grocery store versus an old church that's been renovated into something that could be really, really cool for the area, that could earn us good publicity, that could help things, as opposed to just putting up a carbon copy of what they tend to infiltrate the whole nation with?
So it's more about the poor choice of location.
Yeah, it's probably a good, it's understandable why Walmart would want to build there, because it fits their demographic of what they claim to need. The issue is that within 1 or 2 miles east or west, they already have the same thing. So, like we were talking earlier, it's not that they compete with themselves, it's that their goal in market domination is the more stores they have, the more they can control the price. So once they run everybody else out, they set the price where they want. And it's also a pretty well-known fact that the neighborhood markets are not priced the same like at a supercenter. The prices are going to be lower because it's more like the Sam's or the Big Bulk. The grocery stores themselves have more C-store type prices. And the other point that's troublesome about it is that a lot of our local markets and our local grocery stores, obviously a staple of a grocery store is your meat and produce. And if you do a little bit of homework and research, Walmart is failing grades in both of those areas. Their produce is, they're very publicly known to be tied with Monsanto, and it's.
This has been Katie Brady with the Springfield Report. Now I'm going to turn it over to my colleague, Andrea Lensing, who spoke with Marla Morantz about the effect the neighborhood market might have on the neighborhood.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lensing, and I'm reporting for the Springfield Report. I'm here with Marla Morantz, and she's a part of the Citizens Advocating for Responsible Development. Marla, what is your particular stance for opposing Walmart downtown?
Well, our group is opposed for a number of reasons. We're comprised of neighbors, concerned citizens, and some business people, and some students. And it's pretty much threefold. We feel that the development overwhelms the site and it's too intense, that there are serious traffic and safety issues that have not been addressed, and that there have been problems with the process itself.
All right, so if Walmart is put in place, what do you think will happen to the neighborhood?
Well, I worry that it will overwhelm the area. Not only will it overwhelm it visually, because it is the size of an original Walmart store. It is not the traditional planning and zoning neighborhood market store, which is 3,000 to 10,000 square feet. This is 41,000 square feet, and including the parking lot, over 150,000 square feet. It's open 24 hours a day, abutting a very residential area, and I think it will greatly exacerbate the traffic. Furthermore, they're tearing down affordable, good condition, for the most part, single-family dwellings. And we've had a policy in our comprehensive plan to preserve those kinds of dwellings. And it's also moving into what has been a stable neighborhood with direct access to the park. And it will threaten the safety of our school children. It has more children in that area than any other area of the zone. And 3 public schools walk home through that neighborhood. If you're ever there between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, it looks like a walkathon. And that includes an elementary school, the middle school, and Parkview High School. And then, of course, there are also students from other schools like Central or even Phelps that sometimes walk home through that area. And no pedestrian studies were done on traffic light timings or anything like that. And we really feel, just like other cities have required, that those safety issues need to be addressed.
So through your research, do you think that this specific case is being fairly represented to the public?
I think that there's been some major inconsistencies in how the information's been presented. I think it's problematic that Walmart pays for and hires their own traffic studies. I would prefer them to pay for it, but have a neutral third party be hired to do that job. I think there's been misinformation presented, such as that we only have 200 cars a day. That was the information that was presented in planning and zoning. When the traffic reports actually came out, we found out there'd be about 430 trips. In rush hour alone, turns in and out at a corner that's already very busy. And that intersection, Campbell going north, is already at a D-level low service, and that means it's already in trouble. And I think that the adjustments they're going to make, like a center turn lane on Grand and putting a concrete island on Campbell, are not going to be enough to make up for these other issues. I also think that there's other safety issues involved with the way the building is built. There's no entrance adjoining any of the perimeter sidewalks, and that's especially important for handicapped, mass transit riders, pedestrians, and cyclist safety.
Thank you very
You're
much.
very welcome.
This has been Andrea Lensing reporting for the Springfield Report.
I also spoke with Phyllis Netzer, who is not only a concerned Springfield citizen, but a local resident and landlord in the area where the zoning project has been proposed.
Hi, my name is Andrea Lensing, and I'm here reporting for the Springfield Report. I'm here with Phyllis Netzer, and we're going to talk about the opposition to the neighborhood market in downtown Springfield. So what is your personal reason for opposing Walmart downtown?
Well, I don't have a long line of facts and figures. I haven't done a lot of research. I've lived in this area 12 of the last 15 years. I have several rental properties in the area. When I first moved here, the whole West Central neighborhood was pretty much a slums or headed there. And some of the neighbors, the school system, the health department, the police department, the city worked with us, and this area now still gets money from the government because it is a dilapidated, blighted area. But I've seen it come forward. I've seen houses come up in value, probably this area more than any other one area in town, percentage-wise. I've seen schools have statistics like less turnover, especially for the 2 grade schools. I've seen houses fixed up and remodeled, and gardens grow, and people trade flowers. I think those things are important. And I've seen businesses come into the area, businesses that were sponsored by and welcomed by the city and by the neighborhood. I oppose Walmart, not because it's Walmart, but because it's a big box store. It pays minimum wage or barely above. It offers little or no benefits and uses people almost always part-time. I don't think that's good for any neighborhood, and although I've done no research to find it, there is research everywhere that I think half of Walmart's employees are eligible for government subsidies, government benefits. I don't think that's open to the community. That's me paying for Walmart's employees.
Yeah, that's totally understandable. So what effects on the community besides us having to kind of pay for their benefits do you see Walmart having in the Springfield community?
Mine is kind of a unique reason for not wanting Walmart, I guess, but I think the traffic is something almost unsurmountable. I hate to see this big box store come in and people use that store instead of the coffee or Mama Jean's or a little pizza place down the road or Casper's Chili or the downtown market, because those are all owned by individuals, some of whom borrow money from the city in order to start their business. And it scares me to think how many of these people may lose their businesses if people go to Walmart instead of. I'm proud of downtown. I love it.
So you're definitely pro downtown, pro local
I'm
business.
pro downtown, pro local business. Yes.
Yep.
If I won that house they're giving away here, I'd sell it and still live there.
What do you think would happen to the local businesses if Walmart were to come downtown?
Well, there are some businesses, obviously, that it wouldn't have an effect on. But I think anything that has food is going to have a business. It's going to have an effect on that one. I worry about the tire shop next door. One of the reasons I worry about businesses other than grocery is that I understand anybody can go online and order anything that Walmart has and have it delivered to one of these supposed neighborhood markets. And this is getting off the subject, but when Walmart made the permit for their neighborhood market, I understand it was called a supermarket, not a superstore, but not a neighborhood store. And there's a lot of extra room there. I'm worried that Walmart may build a tire shop, may build a restaurant, may build a gas station. All those things are going to take away from things that are already here.
This has been a report by the Springfield Report News Team.